Welcome, ballers, babes who love box scores, and bench warmers. This is Powerfin Playbook, the only sports podcast that covers triple doubles and thirst traps. I'm Liv, your host, coach, and unapologetically queer commentator with big opinions and an even bigger crush on Paige Beckers. Hey divas! Guys, I promise I'm not nearly as sick as I was last week. Like, when I tell you it was like almost quitting time last week because I was so freaking sick. Like, I don't know how I got through the whole, wait, was that last week? Yeah, I don't know how I got through the whole episode because I was like disgustingly ill. I had the chills. I was like cold. It was really bad. It was just like overall, I sounded horrible. As you can recall, if you listened, I coughed every 5 seconds. I couldn't remember what I was speaking about, which is more normal for me, but like, it was just really bad. And overall, not cute. So I'm sorry if you had to like deal with that or like witness that. It was really bad and low-key embarrassing. But I'm better now. I'm not as sick. I'm still like sniffly and like stuffy, but at least I'm not like literally on my deathbed because I thought it was the end of my life. But I made it, y'all. I'm out. I'm alive. And I have a lot to talk about. If you could see, like I've mentioned this before, I write out all that I'm talking about. And if you could see my notes right now, like very rarely will I have notes that are not only on my notebook, but in my phone. And today is one of those episodes. I got screenshots, I got notes. Like I have just a lot to talk about. But today was one of those episodes where I was like incredibly anxious over if I had enough content. And I can assure you I think I do. I'm going to say that, and then like 45 minutes in, I'm going to be like trying to decide what to talk about. But, you guys know I can ramble. If you regularly listen to this podcast, you know damn well that I can ramble easily. So, God, I had a thought in my head. It's gone. Oh my God. So I have a radio show now, so I don't know the time yet. I'll literally update y'all. I'm supposed to know on Saturday, so I'll update y'all next week when my show is, but it's called Beyond the Net Radio. It was kind of just a, like, back thought because of my podcast. I was like, is this stupid? Like, should I even have both? And I was like, I have this idea. I think it'd be stupid if I didn't try. So now I have a radio show, and that is super cool. So Beyond the Net Radio, be on the lookout for that. I'm very excited. It's like how I would describe it is like my obsessions with Paige Beckers and Renee Rapp converge. And the fact that UIC Radio has chosen to give me the platform for that is honestly terrifying. Because do I need another platform where I have a microphone? Probably not, but I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you on multiple different platforms now. So not only do you have me on YouTube, but you also have me on live air, which is just as terrifying because I can't edit anything I say out. Which actually I don't really edit. You probably haven't noticed this, but I don't really cut anything out of this podcast because I'm always spitting truth. So I don't gotta cut anything out because I always just know my facts. Okay, so update in my life. That was one of the updates. Guys, I don't know if you've ever listened to King Princess before, but if you're gay, if you're like a lesbian, you've 100% listened to King Princess. I didn't know I knew of King Princess because everyone was like, oh my God, like lesbians like rise up, like, every lesbian listens to King Princess. Well, not me. I showed up to the game very late, and I am super into King Princess right now. So that's definitely going to be very high up on my list. I believe she's on my first playlist. So be scared because I feel like King Princess is like, I can't say this on the podcast. I was going to make a really funny joke, but I can't. Sorry. I feel like King Princess, like their lyrics, like, I don't know their pronouns, so we're going to go with they. Their lyrics are not the greatest, but the music is so fun that it's like, wow, like every time I listen to King Princess, I'm like, wow, I'm a lesbian. Like, wow, I'm gay. because I am. And King Princess just makes that feel like hyperbolized. Like, it's beautiful. I love King Princess. So watch out, King Princess fandom, because I'm literally coming for you. I didn't know that King Princess was in the Arcane soundtrack. And if you haven't watched Arcane, try harder, because it's great. I binge watched it in probably like less than a week when the second season came out. That would have been like 2 years ago. Like a little over a year ago when the second season came out. I was like, oh my God, let's binge it. Didn't know King Princess was I'm feeling fantastic. That one? Yeah, that's King Princess. And if you've never heard me sing before, you're welcome for that. So what can I say? Anyway, you're definitely going to be hearing some King Princess on my radio show, because that's been a new development in my life. Also, guys, I feel like this is so super irrelevant, but I am wearing a swimsuit as a bra right now, and it's really bothering me. So I wore it because I wanted like a magenta bra, because I'm wearing like an off the shoulder, and I regret it immensely because it like doesn't feel right. Because it's a freaking swimsuit. It kind of itches, low key, but the outfit's cute. I just cut. Oh my gosh! Another life update. I cut my hair. My honorary roommate Chloe cut my hair, and it's beautiful, and it's kind of gay. I say it's gay. My roommates don't agree. I think that pretty much anything I do is gonna be a little gay, but they didn't really agree with that. But like, whatever. Like, I swear to God, everything I do is gay. Like, just a little bit. Like, the clothes I wear, gay. Hair, gay. Music I listen to, gay. Books are gay. It's all gay. Sports I watch, gay. That's probably the, like, strongest. But whatever, guys. New hair, new me. If you're listening to this, you most likely know what I look like, and I probably FaceTimed you when I cut my hair. So, yeah. Shout out. You. You're cool. What else happened in my life? Bro. When I tell you that, like, I think I say this every week. I, like, just came up with this episode concept yesterday. So whatever I said on Forward Fem Forecast was a lie. Forward Fem Forecast has become just me going, I don't know. And I think that's the beauty of this podcast, is like it literally changes every episode. Like, there never was a life update part in the first semester, but life has been so crazy lately that I'm like, oh my God, life update, you know? I just got to tell you guys, you know what I'm saying? So that's my, well, am I done? Like, wait, let me look through like my Snap memories. Oh, that's terrifying. Sorry. Most of it's just screenshots, because you know. Ooh, you're gonna cry, cry, cry when you hear this. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Wait, no, I'm gonna talk about this later. Oh my God. Okay. Well, my Snap memories aren't really like serving. So I think that's it for like my life updates. We're gonna go into broadcasting Beckers, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is a long one. Like, it goes on 2 pages. Because whenever I decided that broadcasting Beckers is just about everything in general and less about Paige Beckers, that's when the segment got a little broad and got a little long. So this might last a minute. So buckle your seatbelts. So basically, what do we want to start with? Oh, okay. This definitely applies to Paige. So Unrivaled had a big trade throughout multiple teams. So let's get into that and what that means. So R.A. McDonald of Breeze Basketball Club, which is the one that Paige is on. I just realized how loud that clap is going to be. Audacity, which is like the audio thing that we use, like the bar is all the way top to bottom. So I'm really sorry. I thought, like, warning headphone users. R.A. McDonald, who is of Breeze Basketball Club, was ruled out for the remainder of the season. So obviously, with how these teams work, if you don't know, they're very small teams of like 6 people with like development players who do not play at the games. So, like, for example, Breeze, one of their development players is Haley Van Lith. I don't know how you become a development player, but I just know she's one of them. So, our McDonald is ruled out. So here's what the trade was. And y'all know I'm going to have a lot to say about this. So Sanaya River, wait, actually, let me do this in like chronological order. So Courtney Williams of Vinyl Basketball Club went to Breeze Basketball Club. And if you don't recognize the name Courtney Williams, stud buds. That is Courtney Williams. I brought her up before. Sanaya Rivers of Hive went to Vinyl. And Azura Stevens of Rose went to Hive. So it like evens it all out. So, very strategic, for multiple reasons, mostly considering the, records of each team. They all lined up, and because we didn't know this when the trade was announced, but Angel Reese is back for Rose Basketball Club, and when I tell you, I was in the dining hall line for a sandwich, and I saw that, and I truly have never been so excited, and I love a good sandwich, but I've never been so excited in the sandwich line until I saw Angel Reese is on the Rose Basketball Club. She is back. I know I said at some point that I wanted Angel Reese to make her come back during the Unrivaled season. I don't know what episode I said that. Maybe I imagined it, but I know I mentioned it at some point. And I'm so excited. So that diva's back. We love her. And so now everything's even, but Courtney Williams is on Breeze, and y'all know my issue is stud buds, and we're going to recap it because I feel like it doesn't make sense to the common folk. So let me just lay this out for you. Okay, I know I talked about this. I think I talked about this in my first episode back from winter break. I'm pretty sure. It might have been the one after that, but I'm pretty sure that happened over winter break. So basically, Courtney Williams and Natisha Eidman, who are stud buds, both in Unrivaled, both in the W, played for the Minnesota Lynx. I believe they are Hive and Vinyl, or now Hive and Breeze. And they're cool. Cool concept, stream for 72 hours for the All-Star weekend. Very cool. Cool idea. Love it. But here's my issue with them. They have on multiple freaking occasions, Courtney Williams has on multiple occasions harassed Gabby Williams in person, on their streams, whatever, because she has a crush on her. And I think it's so gross and immature. And Gabby Williams on multiple occasions has been please stop. She went on Fud Around Find Out. She said, please leave me alone, which is so valid because I would absolutely lose my marbles if someone was talking to me like that, airing it out on a stream. Disgusting. So obviously I have an issue. And then what made it worse was after Gabby Williams went on Fud Around Find Out, AZ or her co-host was okay, Q&A for the fans, whatever. And Courtney Williams had commented something flirting with Gabby, and so Gabby was please stop. Please stop. Seriously. The AZ and the co-host couldn't even laugh because it was pleading her to stop. And Natisha went on to, I don't know what, TikTok, Twitch, whatever, and was talking about Gabby, and she was Courtney doesn't even like you like that. My girl doesn't even like you like that. It was so stupid when obviously Courtney has been driving her absolutely insane. So I have an issue with the stud buds, and I feel like they are excused for some very annoying and immature behavior. And I don't like it. Own up. If they were okay, we need to lock in and be a little less insane on our streams, then cool. You're maturing. That's awesome and great. But they obviously aren't going to do that. I'm just not getting the vibe. So they piss me off. I'm not gonna lie, they pissed me off. So when I saw that she got traded to Breeze BC, I was oh, are you serious? They're harshing on my vibe, but it's literally fine. Whatever. So congrats to all the people that got moved a freaking around, but I'm a little upset about that. A little upsetty spaghetti. I need my Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna be honest. This has become a regular part of the show. When does Liv open her Dr. Pepper? So, moving on. this is serious. This is a serious thing that happened. So no jokes about this because it is very serious, actually. So we know Rakia Jackson, who plays for Breeze Basketball Club. Her and Paige's relationship is like one of my favorite things ever. They're just so like jokey with each other, and I love it. It's so cute. Anyway, Rakia Jackson was dating James Pierce Jr., who was a rookie linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. So basically what happened is on February 7th, here, wait, let me like get this a little more organized. On February 7th, Pierce followed Rakia and rammed his car into her to prevent her from getting to the police station. He was released on February 8th after posting a $20,500 bond. And he's required to stay only 500 feet from Rakia, which really, really, really pisses me off. That's it. That's the only thing. Here's what he's facing. 2 counts of aggravated assault, ramming into her vehicle. 1 count of aggravated stalking, fleeing and eluding police, high speed / reckless. Aggravated battery of a police officer, and resisting arrest. So, obviously, boy got issues. And I think the bigger issue here is that he's not even going to face if he would have just been stalking her, and I say just in a way that like if he hadn't harassed police officers, whatever, if he hadn't assaulted police officers, he would have been let off so easy with domestic violence and stalking because that is the world we live in. He would have literally been probably let off with a freaking pat on the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid how our justice system works. And obviously, it's been so much worse in the past few, like, recent years, especially with, the files and all that stuff. But, that's not, I don't want to talk about that on my podcast. So, the issue is that he honestly, like, he wouldn't have faced that bad of repercussions if he had been domestically violent and stalking her, if he hadn't harassed a police officer. And that is that I just know that is true. It pisses me off so bad. I wish I had like a way of knowing what his charges would have been if it was domestic violence and stalking and not harassing a police officer, but obviously, we'll never know because he decided to make that decision as well. But, what? Like, insane. So, definitely thinking about Rakia Jackson at the moment. Very upsetting. Very, honestly, can I say, okay, so I've seen videos of his live streams before, and he very much so gives off, like, emotionally abusive behavior. And no one said anything, obviously. And now this happened, and it's like, ugh. Like, are we freaking kidding? This is so ridiculous. But men suck. So, and that is like the all aboard theme on my show, is that men suck. So, about that. What else do I want to say about that? Okay, I think that's all for that. Obviously, I'll update y'all. Hopefully he goes to prison for a long time. And he probably won't, but hopefully he does. In lighter news, guys, I got a freaking story. Okay. Paige was at the Super Bowl. Can we talk about that halftime show? Because it was beautiful, and I loved it. I was dancing. I've rewatched it multiple times since. I've now become a regular Bad Bunny listener. Beautiful. Loved it. Perfect. The joy. Everything about it, like, just makes you want to dance. It was so freaking good. And anyone who disagrees, watch it again. Watch it again. Take notes. Watch it again. Watch it again. Watch it again. Listen to his music. So good. Love him. It was perfect. But Paige was there, and listen, I posted on my private story. Wait, let me see what I posted because I want to reference it correctly. I posted a picture of that Paige had posted on her Instagram, and I said, I'm starting an effing rumor. Because listen, okay, this is gonna sound really stupid at first because it really was like dumb. Okay, so she posted on her Instagram multiple pictures from like this past week or whatever, and then a picture with Harper Murray. And guys, I'm such a Paisley defender that when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm starting a rumor, like thinking that her and AZ had like broke up, because y'all know every week I'm like more convinced that they're no longer a thing, but whatever. So then I was telling my roommates about this because I don't know that much about Harper Murray. I know a lot of her controversy, but I don't know all that much about her. So I was like, oh my gosh, like they're dating, they're a thing, I swear. And the girls were like, she's so straight. So I redact that rumor. I'm sorry I brought it up. Harper Murray is straight. Paige and Daisy are probably still together. And I can be done now, because it was so ridiculous. Like, I was so angry about it. And when I tell you, like, I take parasocial relationship to the next freaking level, because AZ and Paige are like my favorite people ever. And if they break up, I'm dead. I'm literally like, I'm done. So we're not even done with broadcasting backers yet, if you guys wouldn't believe me on that. Whoa. Sorry, I just went to my post archives and it was a scary place. Okay, so 2026 USA Women's World Cup roster dropped, and it's great. It is so good. So let me just read this to you, because you're going to be like, wow. Even if you like don't know basketball that well, you're 100% going to recognize some names. Aaliyah Boston, Paige Beckers, Sonia Citron, Caitlin Clark, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, Derica Hamby, Ryan Howard, Kiki Arifin, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, and Jackie Young. Guys, and when I tell you I literally posted that, I saw that, and then a second later I saw that Angel was back with Rose BC. It was a good day. It was a good day for sure. In the sandwich line, I saw both of those posts, and it was truly just like a beautiful moment for me. So, shout out. Wait, what did I have written here? Oh, okay, sorry. So, very cool. Very excited. Shout out women's basketball. Shout out Paige Beckers. I'm starting no rumors today. I'm not starting any rumors. Maybe next week. So, and like, they're not going to hear my rumors anyway. Whatever. Okay, so moving on, I feel like because it's the Olympics, I have to do an Olympic update, because that's what this is about, is it not? So first, we're going to talk about scores and such, and then we're going to get into the drama, because this is where the screenshots come in. And it's about to get crazy up in here. Okay. So, wow. So for women, I'm only talking about women. I'm sorry. For the results that we have in now, for alpine skiing, the USA has won in women's downhill, gold. Combined downhill, gold, USA. Ice dance, the USA got silver. Luge, women's double, the USA got bronze. And snowboard half pipe, the USA won gold. So we'll learn more about that, as it goes on or whatever. What I'm more interested in is USA women's hockey, because we're doing really good. Okay, so let me just read y'all the scores. Okay, so Czechia. Wait, is that how you freaking say that? Wait, let me Google this. Good thing, guys, my phone's actually like low-key charged right now. Czechia pronunciation. If I'm saying this wrong. Oh, I'm connected to my headphones. Hopefully this doesn't blast.
Czechia.
I was right. It's Czechia.
Czechia.
Yeah, it's Czechia. Okay, sick. So, Czechia versus USA. The score, was 5-1. USA won. Finland, USA. Shutout. 5-0. USA wins. Switzerland, USA. 5-0 shutout. USA wins. Canada versus USA. 5-0 shutout. USA wins. So we're undefeated. Let me check. I think since then there's been a game since I wrote this down, which was yesterday. Let's see here. If there's like an account. Olympics. I might just have to look this one up. Yeah, I think I will. Okay. Olympics women's hockey. USA. Let's see here. Well, will you freaking tell me? Okay. Wait, I think that's it. Wait. Swim! Oh! USA versus Latvia. 5-1. Dude. Oh my God. Wow, we're on fire. Okay, so. Quarterfinals tomorrow. US versus Italy. February 14th. Oh. That's men. We don't watch men. So the quarterfinals tomorrow against Italy. So we'll know by next week if we won gold or not. But it's looking pretty great since we shut out Canada. Okay, but the only downside to that is Marie-Philippe Poulin is ruled out for hockey for the Olympics. I think it was a bad check that got her. So... Oh my gosh, speaking of pronouncing things, this literally like correlates with absolutely nothing, but like I need to talk to someone about this. So, you know, this song Wet Leg that appears to be pronounced mange tout. It's Mongtu. Had to look that up this morning because I'm playing it on my radio show, spoiler alert. It's Mongtu. So if I would have said mange tout, you know how freaking embarrassing that would have been. So embarrassing. Okay. But now that I've got through like the general scores, I did say Marie-Philippe Poulin is out. That's my queen. But here's some drama. And I got we got some receipts for this. So, oh my God. Also, this is more Broadcasting Beckers, but I forgot to freaking talk about this. Natisha Heidman, she is the drama. She was in a video with the Unrivaled commissioner, and she said, "This is Commissioner of Unrivaled, everybody. Dubs in the chat for the commissioner we like." Girl, you can't say that, but we love her for it. Like, that's so fire. Okay, next. Okay, so the biggest drama that I wanted to talk about, because this is like lore, because listen, y'all in real time have witnessed me get into figure skating. So this is stuff I didn't know. So... you know, like, this is new to me. So this is very juicy. So, for figure skating ice dance, which is like partner work. Apparently, the judges are super problematic this year because the French team, who is villainous, I guess. Wait, let me say no, I'll figure this out. But apparently they freaking suck and they won gold. So let's read what this lady had to say on Facebook. Math doesn't lie, but judges do. The world just watched Madison Chalk and Evan Bates deliver a flawless world-class performance only to be mathematically eliminated by a judging panel that seemed to have the results printed before the skates hit the ice. Let's look at the French math. In the free dance, the French judge reportedly gave their own team, Fournier-Baudry and Cizeron, a staggering 137.45, nearly 8 points higher than they gave the Americans, 120.74. So, for context, the American judge did the opposite, but the French cushion was so aggressive that it neutralized the score. How does a team with a visible error on their twizzles, Cizeron caught an edge, outscore a clean level 4 performance by Chalk and Bates? It's called reputation inflation, and France has turned into an Olympic, and in France it has turned into an Olympic sport. Wow. Whoa. Okay, wait, there's more lore. And France has turned into Okay, from 2002 Skategate scandal, maybe I should talk about this, where a French judge admitted to a gold medal swap to the 1998 Nagano block voting. The French Federation has decades-long history of creative scoring. I say that in air quotes. Tonight wasn't an anomaly. It was a tradition. The ISU promised a new ice skating something, united something. New judging system to stop this, but when one judge can swing a result by 8 points while ignoring technical falls, the system isn't broken, it's rigged. So, drama, y'all. And I watched both of the performances, and I'd really have to freaking agree that the USA should, and I tried to be as unbiased as possible. The USA should have won, or at least done better. And there was some technicalities with the French routine in the ice dance. So, listen, y'all, I'm not trying to be in on that drama, but crazy. And then also another thing I wanted to talk about. Wow, I just have so much to talk about. Holy crap. I'm seeing all these screenshots. Okay. So, wow. So, Jutta Leerdam, which is a speed skater, was in the Olympics, and she broke an Olympic record and won gold in the women's 1,000 meter speed skating final. So she won gold. I said that. Oh my God, I said that. Okay, anyway, sorry. She's great. She's cool. Jake Paul's girlfriend, by the way. So now every article that is about her breaking this record or winning gold, it says Jake Paul's girlfriend. Why are we doing that? He's ew. He's just a boy. He's just a boy, and a bad one at that. So, ew. No, Jetta Leerdam, not Jake Paul's girlfriend. Babe, blink twice if you need help. Are you okay? Are you okay? Or maybe it's his fiance. I don't know. Are you okay, sister? But yeah, that annoys me. Wow, I have a lot of screenshots. Okay. Oh my gosh. Also, wait. I think this might be on the next page, because why didn't I talk about this? Oh, okay. Okay. So. Oh, I did it again. I hope that wasn't too loud. Amber Glenn is dealing with an online dispute because of the music on her free skate. So this boy who she uses his music for her free skate, which you have to get permission for. You have to get the rights for at the Olympic and the world champion level, mind you. He posted on Twitter and was like, wasn't aware that Amber Glenn had gotten the rights to my music, and made this whole freaking deal about it on freaking Twitter, or X, or whatever you call it. And so not only is sister dealing with the drama of being a Blade princess, we love her, she's also dealing with this stupidness. So turns out it was, well, first of all, it was so unnecessary to post on Twitter. That's so stupid. And it was literally, she got the rights to the music. His team just hadn't communicated that with him. And last thing I want to say about this is men suck, because why are we going on Twitter? That's the kind of thing you shoot an email to your team about before you reach out to her team and is like, hey, I think you stole my music. Huh? I'm done. I'm done with men. So that really freaking pissed me off. But whatever. And then also another thing I want to talk about. So this is also broadcasting records. I did not organize my screenshots very well because, yeah. Asia Wilson has a statue unveiled at South Carolina. Diva, she deserved that years ago. One of the quotes she said really stood out. She said, when my grandmother was a child, she couldn't even walk on the grounds of the University of South Carolina, and the same ground housed a statue of her granddaughter. So I thought that was very sick. If you haven't seen the statue, it's adorable. I love it. It's very cute. She's got the pre-wrap. We love to see it. It's very cute. Last thing I'm going to say about the Olympics, because some people have been talking about this. There's been some buzz. So Ilya Malinin, who won gold, he became the first person to legally land a backflip on one skate in Olympic history. And one thing that's driving me absolutely nuts is that you have to use the term legally, because he's not the first person to land a backflip on one skate at the Olympics. Because here's the freaking reason no one's talking about this, is because the first person to land a backflip on one foot was Surya Bonali, who's a black woman. And that's why we're not talking about it, because people suck. So she actually did it first, but she did it when it was illegal. So I'd have to assume that she got hella point deductions. But mind you, if you're going to say that Ilya Malinin was the first person to do a backflip and land on one foot, he was not. He was the first person to legally do a backflip and land on back foot. So get your facts straight. And if you're going to say, if we're talking about the first person to do a backflip on one foot, we're going to say Surya Bonali, because she was. So I've been correcting people, because that's the history. Anyway, that's the last of the Olympics stuff I want to talk about. Sorry, that was like a very long-winded conversation. That was like almost 20 minutes. So my apologies, Miss Girl. But I was just gonna make a joke. I have jokes with cuss words tonight. I'm sorry. Oh, guys, I could be so much funnier if I could cuss on this show. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so the actual... Wait, let me take a sip of my Dr. Pepper. Let me take a break. I'm getting heated. I'm getting hot. It's actually really cold in here. I don't know why, but I'm really cold. Okay. Gosh, I have to stop clapping. It probably sounds so loud. Okay. So, this came to me yesterday in my digital journalism class. Shout out Mike Riley. It came to me, I don't know why. I was probably reading smut in class. But I was like, oh my gosh, I need to talk about sports romance books on my podcast, because honestly, like, listen, I have grown up around sports. Love them. But the thing that got me back into sports was sports romance novels. So let it be known. Let it be known. Okay. But what I want to talk about is I've lost my track. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to talk about this lit fic that I read the other day called A Good Happy Girl, because it was beautiful and I loved it. So basically, it was about this like lesbian attorney who has like crippling OCD. Like, shout out to my girl. Her name's Helen. Shout out Helen, because me too, sister. I'm not an attorney, but I am a lesbian with OCD. So I found this book at a Barnes & Noble very randomly in like the queer the queer romance section. Let it be known that I wouldn't really call this a romance. I'd call it a lit fic, because it's, I'd say like 50% of the book is intrusive thoughts, Helen's intrusive thoughts, and like honestly, it is like such a good look into what like OCD can look like. And I could tell you that a lot of her intrusive thoughts are things I have thought about and been like, oh my God, I'm evil. But a lot of Helen's issue is that she feels evil because she feels like people can see her intrusive thoughts and like read through her. But basically the plot of the book is she becomes acquainted with this married couple, Katrina and Catherine. And it's basically just their journey into like accepting Helen into their relationship, and also Helen like allowing herself to love them and be loved by them. And it's a freaking journey, let me tell you, because her parents are incarcerated. Her grandmother is a nursing home. The reason her parents are incarcerated is partly because of elder abuse. So to that specific grandmother. So she has that whole, backstory. And a rough childhood, and a lot of her issues with her OCD and PTSD in general come from her childhood, and it's a great freaking book. So if you know me personally, ask me to borrow it, because I would Sorry, my mom just texted me. I would love to, you know, let you freaking read it and talk to you about it because it's so good. And if you know someone with OCD or you have OCD, more importantly, if you know someone with OCD and want to know what it can look like, especially with Puro, which is a type of OCD, I would recommend reading this book because I feel like it's very good insight as to what someone with OCD's brain can look like. But that's not about sports, so I should probably move on from talking about it. But I felt so like genuinely enthralled by it that I felt like I had to talk about it. So what I actually want to talk about today is women's representation in sports romances. And listen, I'm lesbian, but I love me a good MF romance novel. They're fun. I love love, you know? It's great. And the sports mix in with it is also super fun and can be super fun if it's done right. And most of the time I think it's not. So I just wanted to talk about some of those. And most of the books that I'm going to talk about are MF, but there are some WLW. So, yeah. Some of these I'll recommend, some of these I probably won't, but yeah. So the first one I want to talk about that's more like on the severe side and a book that's being turned into a series that I will probably watch. It's called The Deal. It's by Elle Kennedy. There's The Deal, The Goal, The Mistake, and The Score. And then there's The Legacy, and then there's 4 more Briar U books after that. So The Deal is the one I'm going to focus on. This book is about a, you know what? Wait, I actually think I have the synopsis written. So let me find this. Oh yeah, this is what I put in my notes. This is what I prepared for. So let me read this. It's going to take me a while to read, but because she's kind of long. Okay. Sir. Dude. Okay, so this is the cheesiest synopsis ever. Okay. She's about to make a deal with the college bad boy. Hannah Wells has finally found someone who turns her on, but while she might be confident in every other area of her life, she's carting around a full set of baggage when it comes to sex and seduction. If she wants to get her crush's attention, she'll have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of hockey team in exchange for a pretend date, and it's going to be oh so good. All Garrett Graham has ever wanted is to play professional hockey after graduation, but his plummeting GPA is threatening everything he's worked so hard for. If helping a sarcastic brunette make another guy jealous will help him secure his position on the team, he's all for it. But when one unexpected kiss leads, I can't say that, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretending isn't going to cut it. Now he has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. So, I have read this book. I've read the whole series, the whole 9-book series. I've read it all. Entertaining for sure. But my issue with hockey romance, specifically MF hockey romance, is that the female character is always depicted so poorly for a multitude of reasons. And most of the time, it's that she knows nothing about sports. Nothing. And yeah, there are some people that really do know nothing, but it's so frustrating to me that that's always the trope. That is always how it is they don't know anything about sports. Now, there are sports romances, MF, sports romance novels that have good female leads in a sense. They know sports well or they play sports, but that's not a majority. That is a very small percentage of MF sports romance. So it bothers me. Really, truly, it bothers me. And this one, Hannah, the main character, not Hannah. Yeah, Hannah Wells. Hannah, the main character, she's sophisticated. She's smart. She's an artist. But it's how dumb the authors make them look when it comes to... Sorry, that's my ring hitting my Apple Watch. That's my bad. How dumb the authors make them look when it comes to sports is so frustrating to me. So if I were to write one, first of all, it would be Willa, but they definitely have more sports knowledge, and I wouldn't make them look like airheads because I hate when authors write about that. But the next one I want to talk about, and these are ones where I feel that they are represented well. So the first one I want to talk about is Cleat Cute. And I would recommend this book to a freaking wall. I love this book. It's so cute. It is Walla. Yeah, I love it. I'm going to read you this synopsis and tell me you don't want to read this freaking book. Okay. Grace Henderson has been a star of the U.S. women's national team for 10 years, even though she's only 26. But when she's sidelined with an injury, a bold new start, Phoebe Matthews, takes her spot. Phoebe is everything Grace isn't. A gregarious jokester who plays with the joy that Grace lost somewhere along the way. The last thing Grace expects is to become friends with benefits with the class clown she sees as a rival. Phoebe Matthews has always admired Grace's skill and was starstruck to be training alongside her idol, but she quickly finds herself looking at Grace as a more than a mere teammate. After one daring kiss, she's hooked. Grace is everything she has been waiting to find. As the World Cup approaches and Grace works her way back from injury, the woman decides the way they can play together instead of vying for the same position. Except when they are off the field, Grace is worried she's catching feelings while Phoebe thinks they are dating. As the tension between them grows, will both players realize they care more about their relationship than making the roster? Guys, first of all, we need to write better synopses, I don't know how you say that, because holy crap, it's such a good book. Like, they're making a series out of this, by the way, on Crave, the same place that made Heated Rivalry. So shout out. It's gonna be so freaking good. I'm gonna probably watch it a million freaking times, but I love this book. I need to read it again. Truthfully, I've only read it probably 2 times, but I need to read it again because it's so cute and perfect. And, they're both like just badass athletes. And I love that about it. It's way less like derogatory towards women. And they're both so cool in their own. And they both have their own skill sets and accomplishments. And that is just how a sports romance, MF, Walla, either one, should be, I think, personally. Okay, next one I want to talk about is Face Off by Chelsea Curto, which is actually MF, and I feel as the main character is represented well in this book. So let me read y'all the synopsis yet again. I'm actually rereading this book right now because I love it. Emerson Hartwell has waited for a spot on an NHL roster since she became a professional hockey player, and this season, she finally gets a chance to showcase her talents with the struggling DC Stars. Maverick Miller is the best player in the league, but he's never had a winning record. Team captain and desperate to turn things around, he agrees to play nice with the fiery new left winger, even though they're total opposites. After a night between the tension fails reaches a tipping point and they fall in bed together, Emmy and Maverick vow it was only one time, just once to get it out of their system so they can play better and help their team. It doesn't help anything. She doesn't date hockey players. He's a notorious playboy who doesn't date, period. Except what should have been once just happens again, then again. They tell each other their friends with benefits arrangement is the only reason, but despite facing off on the ice behind closed doors, the pair is nothing but fire. I personally really love this book. I really love this series because I feel like the author is so respectful to the dignity of women in sports, and that the first book is a female athlete in a male-dominated field, in a male-dominated league. And I think that's so cool. And I know in, like, the author's note, she writes, like, or, like, a precursor to the novel. She's like, I know this is incredibly unrealistic, and unfortunately, the league is very far from that happening, even though Hillary Knight practiced with the Ducks. So say what you will, but she's like, I know that the league is so far from allowing this to happen, but it's fun to like imagine a place for women like that. And I know later on she talks about the PWHL because when she wrote the book, it was not a thing. And so I think that's so cool of her to like notice and imagine that. And truthfully, love that book. Love the series. I believe there's 5 or 6 in the series now. I know they're coming out with like a 7th and an 8th even. It's a long series, but it's really cute. And Emmy and Maverick are reoccurring characters. It's one of those where it's like the team kind of. And I love it. And I think the second book is about a sports journalist. So super cool series. If you're into MF sports romance, definitely check it out. It's definitely cheesy, but I love a good cheesy book. So the next one we're going to talk about is Love and Basketball, which is what? When I looked this up on Goodreads, it looked like an AI cover, so I definitely want to look into that. Okay, Love and Basketball. They were never supposed to make it this far. Rookie point guard Jordan Keller entered the WNBA with dreams of success, but no one expected her to lead the Phoenixes on an improbable championship run. Not the analysts, not the fans, not even Jordan herself. In the high-pressure world of basketball playoff, Jordan finds herself navigating more than just defensive traps and championship expectations. She's also falling hard for Camille Robinson, the team's brilliant PR director, a woman just as fierce behind the scenes as Jordan is on the court. Their connection grows in stolen moments and quiet glances, a love story unfolding against the backdrop of national media scrutiny, evolving family dynamics, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. As Jordan battles through bruises, double teams, and unexpected threats to her career and heart, she must learn what it means to lead not only a team, but herself. Championship dreams, authentic love, and the courage to claim both. Love and Basketball is a slow burn, emotional, and triumphant sapphic sports romance about chasing your destiny and finding your forever along the way. Super cute. Why does this cover look so AI? Maybe it isn't. But super cute. And I love when they depict, because when you say women in sports, that's everyone. That's the athletes, that's the people behind the scene, that's the creative, that's the owners, that's, So I love when it's like they include both. I think that's adorable. I love it. And good book. I honestly also need to reread that one, probably because it's wah. But yeah. Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about, and this is a controversial one. And I don't really like how Stacey. I hear people say it other way. I don't like how she's depicted. But she's a female athlete, so it's like a double-edged sword there. So. Icebreaker. Y'all have heard of this book before. I know y'all have. I have read this book. I own every single book in this series. It's smutty. It's fun. It is very raw. Becca Grishow, I know I mentioned I had a meeting with her, an interview with her. She's an author. And we talked about Icebreaker. I feel like when people hear romance novels, they're like, ugh. There's no plot, whatever. Yes, there is. And some of them deal with some very deep things. And I feel like this book is an example of that. Like, you look at it, you're like, Icebreaker, that's just smut. Okay, but some of the, topics that they cover in this book are so deep. So let me read y'all the synopsis. This is the last one, I promise. And I want to talk about it a little bit because I know damn well about this book because I've read it a few times. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. It looks like everything is going according to plan when she gets a full scholarship to the University of California, Maple Hills, and lands a place on their competitive figure skating team. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as a team captain is keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a facility mishap means they are forced to share a rink with the figure skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when Anastasia's skating partner faces an uncertain future, she may have to look to Nate to take her shot. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried because she could never like a hockey player, right? Anyway, one thing about this book that if you don't read it, you don't know is that Anastasia deals with eating disorder throughout the book, and thanks a lot to her skating partner. I believe his name is Aaron. I don't know his last name. But I feel like you look at this book, you think, okay, this is some swoony romance, which yes, it is. But it also covers these vast issues. In the third book, which is about one of Nate's teammates, Henry, it covers ADHD and talks about ADHD. I believe eating disorder is talked about in that book as well. It covers issues that you just don't think about when you're reading a romance. And it's super cool, I think, that that's included as well. Okay, sorry. But yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about today. Didn't get to talk about books for that long, but that's okay. I probably won't talk about it again, but super cool. I do a lot of reading, and it's usually sports romance. So fun to talk about it on here because I feel like it's a good little crossover. As I had mentioned earlier, Forward Fin Forecast, I'm cooking something up. Don't worry about it. I'm cooking something up. I got some ideas. Might change tomorrow, but it's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. So, don't ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll have something ready by next week. Okay. But yeah, that's literally all I wanted to talk about today. I'm so glad I'm not like disgustingly ill this time, and I actually had a good old time. So with that being said, stay sweaty, stay sapphic, and stay batty on and off the field. I'll catch you next time. Same vibes, same mic, same energy. Bye.